Greetings, mech warriors, and today I am going to take a look at and show you a little bit of the new community warfare beta. Uh, this was a patch update that was released yesterday, much to my surprise, and I think pretty much everyone else's too. Everyone was expecting stuff to happen on Tuesday, but they released things early. I have already done some exploring around and picked my faction. As you can see, I chose Clan Smoke Jaguar, partially because I put in a stupid amount of real money to get clan mechs, and by God, I'm going to use them. And that also, I actually had to choose a faction before, even remotely trying to explore this stuff and how to figure it out. So, that being said, I'm going to go ahead and take a look at some stuff, and you might have noticed a little pop-up screen in the corner there saying that a world needed defending. That's basically how this works. So, what I'm going to do is, I'll go ahead and check out Turtle Bay real quick. The first thing you need to do is either a world will pop up that needs to be defended, or you'll just pick one. Then you need to set up your dropship. You start off with they give you by default 4 mechs that are trial mechs, but obviously you can pick your own. In this particular case, Anyway, you start off. You have to choose 4 mechs. No ifs, ands, or buts. Period. You have a minimum of 140 tons and a maximum of 240 tons. That's it. And you then decide which mech you want to have be your first drop. What ends up happening is, after you drop, you fight forbidden, you do your normal combat thing, and if you end up dying, instead of having the option to leave combat, you have the button to go return to dropship. Click that, and you have up to 30 seconds to pick another mech. And the reason why I say up to 30 seconds is because reinforcements arrive in 30-second intervals. So if you died, 25 seconds into that 30-second interval, you get 5 seconds to choose your next mech. But if you dropped, 2 seconds into the interval, 2 seconds after the reinforcement drop came in, you've got 28 seconds to pick your mech. And everything's cycled in via a dropship. See, there it is again. Turtle Bay needs attackers, so I am not going to click on this as much as I want to right now and actually get into play, because I do kind of want to show this off. So what you have is you have your faction, and you earn ranks by earning points, and you earn points with not sure why it says, looks like it's this is copy pasted there. Earn 400 loyalty points with Haldavian, and loyalty points are earned pretty much in the same way that experience points are earned, pretty much the exact same way. There is no difference. It's just you get stuff for killing your enemies, you get stuff for getting assists, you get stuff for completing certain objectives, things like that, and all that's tallied up at the end. So it's actually pretty cool. Anyway, actually, let me go back to this, and you see you have these different ranks. I am sure that they're going to be giving different bonuses other than just C-bill bonuses, but so we'll see how that goes. should be pretty interesting. And I'm hoping that they'll do things like a camouflage unlocks and such, which I think would be really neat. Which you earn sea bills and experience points as normal, but well, let me go ahead and hit up Turtle Bay again, and what you'll notice is you get 50,000 sea bills and 50 loyalty points. My understanding is that 50,000 is divided amongst all 12 players, plus what you get at the end. What you've earned just through normal combat. I don't know for sure. I haven't actually looked too hard at it, but that's neither here nor there. I'm sure you can. Well, you can see how everything tallies out at the end of the match. So there you have it, and you have attack worlds where you are on the attack, and then you have worlds that are you're on the defense. And my understanding of the way a world changes hands is that the attacker has to win 10 times, and if they win 10 times, the defenders are kicked off the world, and the attackers get to consolidate. So I'm not exactly sure how all of that's going to pan out in the future, but it seems that worlds will not be changing hands quickly. At least that's my knee-jerk thought on the matter. But look at the world. You get some information on it. Its status. The attackers versus defenders, population, temperature, stuff like that. At this point, at least from my perspective, a lot of this here is irrelevant because they have two separate maps. One is a moderate hot map, and the other map is a moderate cold map. And the tactics for it are effectively the same. The attackers have to destroy an orbital cannon, and the defenders have to keep that from happening. The attackers win by successfully destroying the orbital cannon, and this is done by taking the base. The defenders succeed by killing all of the attackers. So, what's kind of it? And you have 30 minutes. If it goes longer than 30 minutes, well, the defenders win by default. So, things are very strongly, at least at this stage, catered towards the defenders. They get a lot of advantages. I mean, they get defense turrets. They get battle positions that they can hide behind. They're relatively close to the drop zone, so it doesn't take them as long to get into the fight. So, yeah, it's all very interesting. I'm liking this, and like I said, this isn't beta, so we'll see an actual thing where everything's pushed out and good to go and all of that on Tuesday. So in the meantime, for those that have been eagerly awaiting Community Warfare, it's here finally. After how long? I don't know, but yeah. And for those that don't know what the heck you're talking about, hit faction, select a faction, jump in, and have at it. Oh, you know what? As I wasn't going to wrap this up, but instead, the way combat seems to pan out is pretty much how I expected it. And I say this because when you say I want to go ahead and defend this world, I'll go ahead and click defend, and you sit here in this drop queue, and this area here in the preparing for drop section will eventually be populated by other players. When there's 12 players, especially for attacking, you attack. Bam! You go. If there's not enough defenders, well, sorry about your bad luck. So, a piece of advice is that if you don't want to lose worlds, always, always, always defend. Because yes, on one hand, things do favor the defenders, just as a battlefield thing. But if there's not enough defenders, well, you're kind of hosed, because you could end up playing against 12 players versus 4 or 5 or less. And speaking of that, I don't know about sync dropping or team dropping, because I actually had to leave my unit to partake in this, because they had not chosen anything yet, besides it's only beta. And I'll send them an email to put me back in after a decision has been made. In the meantime, I'm going to be running around with my clan mechs. Anyway, where I'm kind of going with this is that, unlike your normal matchmaker, where things like your ELO or ELO, or however the heck you say it, are important, this not so much. You could be playing against or with a 12-man group. You could be a bunch of pugs, 12 people, not even in comms with each other, no sort of coordination, versus a 12-man competitive group. It's very possible. And you could also be the worst player in the history of forever with MechWarrior Online, and you could be pitted against some of the best players in some of the best, most competitive players in the history of MechWarrior Online, and the game doesn't care. So you need to be cognizant of that. This is, I guess a good way to put it is that the kids' gloves are off. I myself, I don't profess to be a good player by any stretch of the imagination. But that being said, I think the way that they're organizing this and setting this up is very interesting and entertaining. I like the direction. It's pretty darn cool, if you ask me. So, yeah, there you have it. I want to go ahead and hit the lobby here. But, yeah, I'm like I said, I am really, really liking all of this. I am looking forward to seeing this implemented full bore instead of being just a beta, and just basically kicking butt, taking names, and having fun in general. So there you have it. Introduction to community warfare, folks, and I want to thank you for listening, and I will see you on the battlefield.